What's up, everybody? Chewy891 coming at you today with just another episode of Chewy's Bodega. And today we're going to talk about the Bucks and the sports world today. What's going on with everything? First thing I want to talk about right now is that Lamarcus Aldridge was forced to retire today. He had an irregular heartbeat. I believe that was the diagnosis with him, and he was forced to retire today from the Brooklyn Nets. It's a significant blow to the Brooklyn Nets. It's sad to hear that Lamarcus Aldridge had to retire, due to something like that. I was hoping that he would, because to me, I am a Bucks fan, but I did pick the Nets to make it out of the East. I just think they have too much from a superstar perspective. That they were just too much to deal with. I don't think anybody in the East can deal with them, especially if all three superstars are healthy, right? That's the thing too. So that all three of them have not been on the court. So if they can't get it together, in the playoffs with all these guys staying healthy, the Nets won't make it out of the East. But if they're healthy and they're all three of those guys are playing, they're definitely going to make it out of the East. Just in my opinion. I understand the defense part of it. I do understand that they need to make stops and all that stuff. But when you got those three scorers, they're just so efficient at scoring. KD is still KD. James Harden is amazing. Granted, he has folded in the playoffs, but he has KD and Kyrie to lean on a little bit to get him out of there. But right now, so this happened randomly this morning. That after 15 years, Lamarcus Aldridge is going to retire. I really do feel bad for him. He hasn't been he's been just an okay player the past couple of years. I haven't heard much from him. I know he went to San Antonio to try to win a ring with like Tim Duncan and Pop at that point. Unfortunately, they couldn't get out of the West. They had to deal with the Warriors and all that stuff. Hopefully, maybe he is on the Nets team. So if the Nets do end up winning a championship, he will get a ring, which is cool. It'd be nice if he were playing, and getting out there and getting that ring. But hey, man, your health is first. It always will be first. Take care of that first. That's the most important thing, and that's what he's doing. And I'd just like to say, thank you, Lamarcus Aldridge. His time in Portland, he was amazing. Guy was a 2010 guy, all-star, phenomenal player. I'm pretty sure he probably will make the Hall of Fame. I don't know if he's a first ballot or anything like that, but I'm pretty sure he'll be a Hall of Famer. The guy is an amazing talent. Granted, never won a ring, but you don't have to win a ring to make it to the Hall of Fame. He's a great player. He will be missed. Let's see what the Nets do going forward. It looks like for his career, he averaged 20 points, 8 rebounds a game, 2.1 assists per 36 minutes. Phenomenal talent. But it is what it is. Right now, let's get that out of the way. So right now, that's a huge blow to the Brooklyn Nets. I still think the key to the Nets is having their three superstars. I know they need some. They could always use the depth with Lamarcus Aldridge and all that stuff, but I think the key is keeping those three superstars healthy for their success to make it out of the East. If those three, and that's a concern because right now the past a couple of weeks it's been like KD will come back and then Harden's out and then Harden's back and then Kyrie's out and it's just like they're shuffling players and in and out and you do need that chemistry. That is important. If anything, that'll hurt them in the playoffs, especially with these teams that have been playing together in the East that have been around for a really long time, that have that, chemistry and everything down. Granted, I don't think with KD and KD and Harden, I don't think they need that much playing time. They did play together in Oklahoma City for a long time. It's more Kyrie, right? Those two have never played with Kyrie on the team, so it's just going to be more so for Kyrie that he needs that chemistry and all that. But let's see. Let's see what happens with them. But anyways, right now, so last night's scores, Milwaukee, they take on the W last night. Giannis has not played, I think, within the past week or so. Me personally, I just think they're resting him, right? He was a full participant in practice yesterday, along with PJ Tucker, and they ended up holding him out. I just think they're resting them. I mean, they have some big games coming up next weekend. They have to play, I think, Philadelphia on a back-to-back. I think on a Friday, Saturday. I'm going to try to get out to the Saturday game to watch them play Philadelphia, and that'll be a huge game. Right now, the Philadelphia 76ers have a 3.5 game lead on the Milwaukee Bucks, and they're a game ahead of the Brooklyn Nets. Now, here's the scenario, right? So Philadelphia holds on to the 1 seed, okay? Philadelphia's going to play Charlotte, and I believe the winner of the 4-5 matchup, I think. No, it'll be... Hold on a minute. Let me just redo this for a second. So Philly beats Charlotte, right? They move on. Brooklyn will play Miami right now. Milwaukee will play New York. Atlanta will play Boston. So if Boston beats Atlanta and Milwaukee beats New York, Milwaukee would have to play the Nets in the second round, which is not good. And then Philly will end up playing the winner. Well, let's say Boston wins that series. They'll play Boston. And I like Philly in that matchup. Granted, I know Boston's been to that Boston's been together for a long time, and they've been to a couple of Eastern Conference Finals, but they're not playing well this year, in my opinion. I have not kept up with everything that's going on in Boston. They just don't seem impressive to me. They just seem overrated, So I think Philly could win that series. So what's key there is that I think that's the easier path to get to the Eastern Conference Finals for any team in the East. Like if you're part of the not any team, if you're part of the top 3 here between Philly, Brooklyn, and Milwaukee, you definitely want that 1 seed to get to the Eastern Conference Finals and rest of it. Because I mean, let's be honest here. Whoever's got the 1, they're going to sweep Charlotte, right? Next round, maybe you lose a game or 2 against Boston. I like Milwaukee in that matchup. I mean, they don't have anybody for Giannis to deal with Giannis or anything like that. And I like their defense against like Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown and those guys. That's the easier path to get to the Eastern Conference Finals. And then from there, you got to see if Brooklyn can make it there, right? If you're Brooklyn, you're in the 2 seed right now. If you're Milwaukee, let's stick to Milwaukee. You're Milwaukee right now, and that's what's concerning with me with them holding out Giannis is that if he's available, he has to play. Right, because, I mean, that 1 seed's important. I don't know if they feel comfortable with being the 3 and saying, hey, we're just going to play Brooklyn in the next round and hope for the best. Maybe their thinking is, hey, you know what, that team hasn't been together for so long. Maybe we could play them in the second round without, if we play them with not that many game experience, without all that experience in the playoffs together. Maybe Milwaukee's thinking Brooklyn could be had in the second round instead of the Eastern Conference Finals. I don't know if that's their mindset. Me personally, I would want to be in the 1 seed hosting the entire NBA playoffs at home. Because, I mean, this year we're not in the bubble, right? We're not in the bubble this year. This year we're traveling. So, everybody, we're going to cities. We're going to be playing in their hometown, in their stadium. There are going to be fans. From what I understand it, I know Milwaukee's letting fans here at a certain amount of capacity. I'm pretty sure for the playoffs that capacity will be increased. And the crowd's going to be crazy. I'm pretty sure. I don't know if they're letting fans in Brooklyn, but if they are, like this year you're traveling. You're not staying in one location, so home court advantage is important, and who you're playing in these rounds are important. I do not want that road being a 2 seed. That's just me. We'll see what happens. But, last night Philly ended up beating Brooklyn. I think Paul George and Kawhi, they were resting as well. They 6-point win there. I'm sorry, they played Philly. I apologize. Oh, my God. Did I say Clippers? They played Philly. Philly beat them by 6 last night. Of course, I don't think I think KD and Harden were out for that game. I didn't get to watch most of these games yesterday. I'm just catching up with the scores and all that stuff. So... yeah, it looks like Kyrie played, KD and Harden didn't. My thing is if these players are available, man, you gotta let them play. This seeding is important in the East for sure. I don't know what's going on. If Giannis is available and PJ Tucker are available and they're healthy enough to play, they gotta play. And maybe you can get away with it tonight and playing Atlanta, they should be. I mean, they're playing in Atlanta. They should be able to get a win tonight against that team. They're a young up and coming team. But I wouldn't. I mean, you need as many wins as possible right now, especially with Brooklyn losing last night to Philly. You can right now, realistically, because here's the thing. Like I said, we play Philly in a back-to-back next week. Okay, we can beat Philly in a back-to-back. Okay, so right now we're 3.5 out, and with Brooklyn's loss, I mean we're about 2 games behind Brooklyn, right? Like 2.5, something like that, or 3. So right now we can. If we can continue to keep winning here, and we need Philly or Brooklyn to stumble a little bit, we can go ahead and beat Philly in that back-to-back next week with Giannis and PJ Tucker and all those guys healthy. So, yeah, man, if I'm Bud, I mean, it's like, hey, listen, you got to play tonight. You got to go. I haven't heard any reports yet. I haven't heard anything if Giannis is going to play or if he's not going to play. I'm probably not going to hear it until maybe closer to game time within a couple hours. But that 1 seed is very important. If I'm Milwaukee, they need to get that 1 seed. Period. There's no way you want to play Brooklyn that second round. You know? I mean, I don't know. And right now, the other thing is, too, the Heat right now are the 7th seed. I know they're having some issues. I think Jimmy Butler's been dinged up and all that. But right now, they're in battle for the 6th seed. So right now, if the Bucks stay at 3, they got to play the Heat. And the Heat... I mean, I would love for Milwaukee to get their revenge on the Miami Heat. Would love for that. But, I mean, they just beat us last year. They had our number. Granted, they don't have the same team as last year. They let Jake Crowder go, which is huge. I feel like they should have kept him, but they didn't. But, I mean, do you want to play a team like that has that mental, they have that mental, what's the word I'm looking for? They just have that edge over you. You know what I mean? They owned you, right? They beat us in 5, and that was a significant 5. I mean, it should have been a sweep. It was a gentleman's sweep. So I mean, they got that edge over us, man, over the Milwaukee Bucks, and that's your first round matchup. And trust me, I'm not afraid of any matchup. The only matchup like in the first round, I'm not afraid of any matchup. I think the Bucks can beat the Heat in 5. Right? That's just my opinion. I will stand by that. I will say that. Till to the death of me, right? The Bucks will beat the Heat in 5 games for sure, with the team that's currently constructed. But it's a scary matchup. You know what I mean? You don't want to. You kind of want to sweep in that first round. You know what I mean? You want to get that rest. You want to build that momentum and keep that going. You know. So, I mean, I don't know. This is going to get right now. This home stretch is getting really, really interesting. Next week's going to be very, very telling for the Milwaukee Bucks. And like I said, they play Philly that back-to-back, and I'm hoping to get out to that game on Saturday. Let's see what happens. But right now, yeah, they won 2 straight games. They're in the last 10. They're just 500 right now. I mean, without Giannis. I think he played in one of the games. I think he played against Portland during this stretch. I'm not sure. And then from there, hasn't played much at all or at all. But they're 5-5 in that stretch. They're down a 2-game winning streak right now. They should go to 3 games tonight if Giannis plays. They really do need this win here. They need to get some momentum. They need to keep this. They need to get a winning streak going, and they need to somehow take that 1 seed. It's. I can't stress it enough. But yeah, I mean, and then you get to the West. The West right now, the Utah Jazz are a 1 seed. The Lakers have slid down from 2 all the way down to 5. LeBron, no AD. I mean, that's expected. They ended up beating the Brooklyn Nets over the weekend, which was shocking without any of those players, which is weird, but they did. But it's basketball. I mean, things happen, right? Phoenix is the 2 seed right now. There's a lot of talk of MVP for Chris Paul, which is deservedly so. I mean, this Phoenix Suns team last year was battling for the 8, had to do the playing game and lost on a last-second shot, I believe, to Portland, I believe. Trying to remember how that went. That was an amazing game. And right now they're the 2 seed. Right now the Clippers are hanging on at the 3, and there's a 2 to 3 game difference right now between the Clippers and the Jazz. I mean, the Clippers can get home field court advantage. Not that here's the thing about the Clippers, right? So not that it'll matter, because if they play the Lakers, right, in the Western Conference Finals, I mean, do you really have home court advantage? You don't. I mean, everybody's a Lakers fan in LA. There's not going to be a game where there's going to be more Clippers fans than Lakers fans. Get out of here. That's never been a thing. It never will be. So, I think once LeBron and AD get back, I think the Lakers will climb up here in the rankings. I think they'll get to maybe the 3 seed or the 4 seed, and then from there it's going to be... Well, maybe they don't. I mean, the Lakers are 7 games back of the 1, so there's no way they're going to get the 1. I just don't see it. I mean, Utah's playing really, really well, and then Denver took a hit. I mean, they lost Jamal Murray. I have not kept up with the injury for that. I don't know what the prognosis is, but that's a huge loss for them. He had an ACL injury. I'm stupid. I should have kept up with that, but I didn't. Wow, ACL. So that means, the Denver's kind of shot right now. Unfortunately, man, they're playing really, really well. They just picked up Aaron Gordon, and the sky's the limit for that team. They were in the Western Conference Finals last year, and Jamal Murray really came on as a star at that point, and was playing really well. And now he's out, man. That sucks. He's gonna miss a lot of time, man. He's gonna miss a year. A huge blow to the Denver Nuggets. But yeah, I mean, you got a lot of strong teams here in the West again. Looks like, I mean, the play-in. The other thing is too, like, this is why I love the play-in too. The play-in. I mean, last year was very, very exciting. It came down to like a last-second shot. I mean, you're gonna see these players play for that final spot. I think if there's a tie or something like that, or whatever, if there's a game difference, you do the play-in game for the 8th seed or the 7th seed or whatever the hell it is. And right now in the West, it looks like it's between Memphis, Golden State, San Antonio, New Orleans, of course, with Zion Williamson, right? He's the money guy. You want to get him in that play-in situation. He's going to draw on ratings and all that. So you got something. The West is going to be the most interesting play-in game scenario. I mean, you look at the East; it's just crappy from here. Right now, if I got this right, it could be between the 7 through 8. If not, let me know in the comments down below and in the video. I'll greatly appreciate it. So right now, I think it's between Miami, and there's like 3 teams here. Because right now, the Chicago Bulls are 4 games. I mean, it's just a dumpster from here. It's like it's Miami 28-27, Charlotte 27-27, and then the Pacers are 26-28. They're like 2 games back of Miami right here, or like a game back, or whatever the hell it is. And then from there, it's like a drop-off. Chicago, Toronto's got 22 wins, and it's just crappy from there. Too bad Washington couldn't get any better. Bradley Beal, I don't understand why you didn't force a trade to Milwaukee or something. I mean, I heard talks that Milwaukee was interested in Bradley Beal, and from whatever reason, the Washington Wizards owner just didn't want to give him up. But they're 21-33. I mean, they're not even competing. I mean, let's see what happens with Bradley Beal at the end of the year. Because I mean, I don't think he's going to resign at all. I think he'll move on. And then keep hearing talks of Russell Westbrook accepting a buyout. Right now, he's killing it. Right now, he's averaging a triple-double. And been averaging a triple-double over this stretch of games that he's been playing. This guy's an animal, man. I don't care how inefficient he is, man. I'll tell you this. Russell Westbrook does not rob you of anything. Like, that guy always gives you 100% effort. Always. He never cheats you on effort. He never cheats you on anything. He's always there. He's always playing hard. Guy's a stud. He's amazing. I love Russell Westbrook. Granted, like I say, he's not efficient, but love everything. Just love his effort. Love his heart, man. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I want the Bucks to get out of the East. This is just gonna be tough, man. And not getting Bogdanovich at the beginning of the year. This team would have been better if we got Bogdanovich. And however that was botched, I don't understand how that was botched. I still don't understand how that was botched till this day. It just bothers me that the Bucks make a trade offer and all of a sudden whatever it was. I mean, from what I understand, Bogdanovich and Giannis are friends, right? They were talking or whatever the case may be. And then from there, it was like Bogdanovich doesn't agree with the trade or some nonsense like that. And then took more money with Atlanta. And right now, Atlanta's the 4 seed. I can just imagine Bogdanovich with this team right now. I'm pretty sure the Bucks would be the 1 seed. They'll be a better team for sure. I just don't understand how that. I just don't get it. Whatever happened there, I mean, that was. I would like to get the whole story on it because I feel like we got vague responses from like the organization, from the Bucks, and from who knows? I don't know if it was tampering or whatever the case may be. Whatever it was, I mean, the Bucks organization dropped the ball there, and that was a huge drop by them, by the way. But we ended up picking up PJ Tucker, which I'm really, really happy about. I wish we would have got Oladipo as well. I don't know what happened there. I mean, I don't know if they inquired about Oladipo, because I mean, what the Heat gave up for Oladipo, I'm pretty sure the Bucks had. I mean, they had assets similar to that. They could have given for Victor Oladipo. Would have loved to have seen Victor Oladipo with this team, with Middleton, Drew Holiday, Giannis. Those guys, Brook Lopez. I think they would have. I think with that, for sure, they would have had my confidence of getting out of the East for sure. For sure, no doubt in my mind. No doubt in my mind, the Bucks with that move would have been the favorites. So those two moves. I mean, just if they would have just whatever happened with the Bogdanovich, they would have just fixed that situation. They would be the number 1 seed right now. Granted, they're not far out of it. They're still in it. They can still fight for it. Philadelphia can fall apart. Brooklyn can fall apart. Who knows? The Bucks could just catch fire all of a sudden. But there needs to be some urgency from the Bucks. Giannis, there needs to be some urgency. You got to get the 1 seed. We're hosting games this year. It's not like last year playing in the bubble. And the other things, too, I laid out the scenarios for you. If you're the 1 seed, you play Charlotte. That's a sweep. You play Boston. But the Bucks have beaten Boston in the playoffs before. And that series against Atlanta versus Boston, I like Boston in that series. Then from there, I think Milwaukee could just beat Boston in like maybe 5-game series, 5-6-game series. And then from there, depending on, I'm pretty sure Philly, Brooklyn, that's not going to be a sweep by either team. That's going to be a 7-game series. You know what I mean? So, by that point, you're probably going to be resting by the time you dispatch Boston early. And then from there, you're just waiting for the winner, Brooklyn, Philly. And with how Brooklyn's injury history has been, you never know. Right? If Brooklyn wins that series, the thing is, you never know. Is KD going to get hurt? Is Kyrie going to get hurt? Is James Harden? They have not shown consistent health throughout the regular season. And here's the thing. It could all be bullcrap, too. Not saying that their injuries are fake. They could, not that they're faking injuries, but they're probably saying little things here to get rest so they don't, overextend themselves so they can get ready for the playoffs. I can say the same thing about Giannis, too. That could be happening right now, too. Resting is important, man. You want to save your legs, right? The playoffs are a long journey, man. You're playing 7-game series in every round. It's not like it was in the 90s where, like, the first round was like a 1-5, and then you go to, I'm going to say 1-5, best out of 5, and then from there it was like best out of 7, best out of 7, best out of 7, right? So second round's best out of 7, Eastern Conference Finals best out of 7, Finals are best out of 7. So, I get it. I understand it. But we're in a battle for the 1 seed. You need it. There's got to be a ton of urgency. And Bud should understand that. And I've been getting on Bud for the past couple of years, man, because, his adjustments have not been good. At all. At all. And that's why we lost some of those series. Because, those adjustments, they came in and made adjustments against Giannis, and then we didn't have any answers for them at all. So, Bud, let's get your shit together. Let's get Giannis playing tonight. And let's have a good 2 weeks of basketball here where we play the Philadelphia 76ers back-to-back and win the 1 seed. All right, guys. Anyways, that's it for me, guys. Thank you very much. That's just me talking about some sports today and a little bit of the Bucks and the scenarios that are going on in the NBA for the playoffs. It's coming out around the corner. Definitely do me a favor. Like the video if you like the video. Dislike the video if you dislike the video down below. Comment. Let me know what your thoughts are on everything here. Subscribe to my channel. We'll have more sports talk coming up. I know I've been a little lazy with it. This is another episode of Chewy's Bodegas podcast. I know I've been slacking, but I'm going to get back on it. And this will be on Spotify or Anchor or whatever it's called on that website. I will have the description down below in the video once it's up there. All right, guys. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful day. Take care. Be safe out there.